Hi everyone, it's Cindy and I am back to crafting a little bit. I have gotten moved into my new house and mainly unpacked. My craft room is still not unpacked nor completely organized. My desk is a mess, but that's normal. Yeah, I changed my mind 3 times about where I was going to put my craft room, and finally I just decided on this room here, and it is the darkest room in the house, so I'm trying to work on the lighting. And my desk faces a big double window, and it's on the west, so for now we're good. Probably later on in the evening we might get shadows or, you know, little things where the sun's peeking through the different spots, but right now I think we're good. So anyway, I'm just trying to start crafting again. My brain always wants to say, well, I need to do this first. Let me get the living room cleaned up first before I go in the craft room. And when you do that, you never get anything done. So finally, it's like I give myself permission that some other parts of my house can still be not completely settled or unpacked, but I get to go work in my craft room. So that's what I'm doing. Now, what am I doing? When you pack up all your stuff and move 3 hours away from where you used to live, you discover things you've forgotten about in your craft room. And then, of course, you pack them up and forget about them again, but then you unpack and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot I had these. So what I want to do is get rid of some things in my stash, or not necessarily get rid of them, but just make them more useful. And I have, what some of the things are, I have a legal filing cabinet over to the side here, and I have 2 drawers of it that are full of papers to use as signature pages. And some of them I have are like this old encyclopedia page. It's a double page spread, and it's really thick, nice paper, so it's great for journals, but you can't write on it. The pictures aren't pretty enough to want to include in there, so it just stays in a folder in there. And I've been working all day. I got ink, glue and whatever all over my fingers, but anyway, so I want to put some papers on there so that you can write, and just kind of make up a few pages so they're in my stash, ready to go. So yeah, we're making pre-made pages for signatures. So I have these papers. I wanted to find my shorthand pages. I have papers from a 1940 something shorthand book, but I couldn't find those. So once I find them, I'll do the same sort of treatment on them too, because I like them, but you can't really write on them. At least I guess you could if you had a magic marker or whatever. But anyway, so what I want to do is cover some of these pages. I have some scrap fabric around. I'm going to make some tabs too and put on there. Now, I also have in my stash tons of paper. Like I bought like this tablet that I bought it to back journaling cards and tags and that sort of thing. So I at least have 2 of these. One's lined. No, that one's not lined. I had 3 of them. One was lined, but I used it up. I have cut-offs from different things, and I have pages I've torn out of books that's got some writing space on the back. So I have a drawer in my desk that it's a drawer that's made for file folders, and I have 5 folders of all these sorts of papers in there, and I have at least one other tub that's the same sort of thing. It holds 5 folders full of papers like this. I probably have like 3 batches of these things. So this will be a stash buster item as well as this. So I have more of these blank papers than I'll ever be able to probably use to cover tags and journaling cards. So anyway, I just want to get a few of these pages ready to go in journals. So next time I make a journal, I can grab some of these already made, and I won't feel like it's weighing me down or time-wise if I have to cover the paper up as I'm making the journal. Okay, hopefully I'm still in frame. I am dealing with the lighting in this room, like I said, and a whole new apparatus to hold my camera. So I'm afraid it's too close, too in your face. So if it is, let me know, and I'll see what I can do to adjust it. But for now, we're just going, and I'm just using up some glue sticks I found when I was unpacking and try to get all my glue in one spot. So I'm just going to glue this whole page on here and get it more or less straight, and get the glue all spread out. And then I might pick something. Is that on the back or the front? That's on the front. Let's pick something different. That was out of one of a tablet. Let's just use this end page from a book. It's kind of thick though. I might not do that. Let's do this. It's a cutoff, and it will cover almost all of the paper, the writing. If it doesn't cover it all, that's fine, because I don't mind it. You can tell that there was something behind this. Just has to have enough to write on. So we'll get this one on. This is definitely one of those projects you can do while watching TV, or just, you don't want to have to use your brain to measure things or decide things. You just grab some papers and some glue stick and get busy. I'm trying really hard not to mess up my living room with bits of paper and scraps and all sorts of stuff like I did in my old house. Because my old house, I had those new vinyl type floors. I don't know what it's called. And it looks like planks of wood, that sort of stuff. So it was a hard surface, right? In this house, I have carpet. So digging out the old vacuum cleaner is a whole different story. But I still had to clean my floor in my other house too, and I had to grab out the broom and then the mop on that floor, so it is one less step if you have carpet. So I'm just using part of that book page, and we'll figure out what we're going to put on the rest. The paper I'm using for a glue book is not a real strong book either, so I refuse to move a bunch of book pages that are just like torn out of a book like this is. I said I'll move some, but it's got to be papers that are interesting, not like out of a new book or something. So that's kind of a little bit fragile glue book there. Or the pages are real thin. I don't know if they're real fragile, but okay. And then something on the top. See, I have lots of papers like this. That's just a book page, but it mainly was blank, so I got to use it, especially when it's this beautiful color. Got the aging to it, or it's not necessarily the age of the paper, but the air, around it is kind of what makes these pages turn brown. Pollution. There we go. So. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about where I moved to. I moved to south, the town I live in is south of Tulsa. It's actually in Tulsa County still. Not still, but it's actually in Tulsa County. So I'm about, 5 minutes away from Tulsa. I'm about 15 minutes away from my daughter, which is fantastic. 15 minutes versus 3 hours. And that, of course, was the main reason I moved. And I'm 30 minutes away from my parents, about 15 away from my brother, and 15 away from my sister. So my family's all around here. I have one aunt who lives about an hour from here. She's the furthest out of the immediate family, on my side of the family. Of course, my husband's side is all from the town where I moved from, pretty much. So, yeah, it's been really nice, because one of the reasons it's taking me so long to get my house unpacked and everything settled is because I'm busy going to dinner with this person and having lunch with that person, going to movies with my sister and my daughter and all that sort of stuff. Oops, that was really crooked. But that's the reason, why I moved, was just to spend more time with my family. And I don't know if this matters if it's straight or not. I'll try to line it up with the words on this side. So yeah, that's been great. So it also means I'm not getting much done as far as unpacking, but I'm almost there. Okay, now, definitely a writable page, and it's really thick paper because it's that encyclopedia was a nice paper anyway. So, okay, I've got a scrap of fabric. It's just something I tore from something else. You can see all the threads still on it, and those love to stick to my sticky fingers. So I'm just going to use some glue stick. We'll see if it holds it. If it doesn't, and I discover it didn't, then I'll just repair it and put some Fabri-Tac on it. But I'm just going to use that and see if we can get this on there as a tab. So I'm using up a stash of fabric scraps and book pages and just backing papers and making something that will work in a journal. Okay, there we go. And of course, if you want to add things, ink it up, that sort of thing, can also be done. So anyway, that can be done later though when it goes in the actual journal. All right, so that was the encyclopedia pages. And I also found when I was digging, looking for my shorthand papers, I found this old book. It was a children's poems, and it was 1944 was the date on it. And it's pretty fragile, so I like to include it, but, you know, it's also, once again, something you can't write on, and the pictures aren't really anything I'd want to keep. So I'm going to put something a little different on this. And if it makes it, if at some point in the journal it, you know, breaks off or completely comes out, then you can always put it back in with washi tape, repairing with washi tape. So it doesn't hurt to use these types of books. But I found the other day at a thrift store near me, which that was one thing about moving away from where I lived. I left two really great thrift stores, and I haven't had time to go looking much, but a little bit of yard selling. So I did find these somewhere. I don't even know where. They were just books that's got little sayings, and you can write. It's mainly for writing. So I thought, well, I really like this. You can see it better here. These pages that are blank, but they have the frames around them. So I was taking those out. So here's the one that's a little different. It's just got the lines. But I thought those would be great. I was thinking the shorthand book, because you could still see some of the shorthand around it. But it works for this too, because it covers up the poem, but yet it keeps the old paper showing. And if you also want to write on that old paper, you can. So I was just getting this book and just pulling these out. Let's see, here's some strings to cut. And I could tear them out, but I was afraid I wouldn't get them too straight. So I would just take them out by the strings. Take the strings out, pull this out, and then I'm just going to take my scissors and cut. I have some longer scissors, but they're not in my hand, so we'll use this. Speaking of scissors, that's one thing, and then we got that on this side, so we can finish this up with that. Speaking of scissors, when you pack up and move, my craft room, my house, my garage, my husband's music studio, all of that, you find pairs of scissors. I bet I have 30 pairs of scissors I found. And in this desk I have one drawer that's just now scissors, all scissors. Whenever I was packing, I got rid of my desk I was using because it had one drawer, and it was like a filing cabinet drawer like this one has. Where you put file folders in there, but just had the one drawer. So my daughter and I went desk shopping at the thrift stores a month or so after I moved in, and we found this one, which I really like. I don't know if you can see enough of the desk to see it. It's solid oak, and there's enough blemishes on the top of it. I don't have to feel bad about gluing on it or, you know, just doing regular crafting on it. It's already got damage on it, but not so much that it's going to interfere. Like this thing right here, it's something glued on there. I can't get it off. So anyway, but it has 6 drawers. And then it has a drawer in the middle. And then it has those things you pull out. I used to call them like things for typewriters to sit on, but I don't think a typewriter would fit on there. I guess it's more for a notepad or something for a secretary maybe to have when she was taking shorthand. There we go, shorthand again. So anyway, it's been really nice. I got it at Salvation Army, and it fit in my car. We were able to bring it home, and I love the drawers. So that's nice. But when I moved, I got rid of my desk, a shelf. I think I may have already said this. Did I already say this? And filing cabinet. So it was really kind of difficult unpacking. Well, I don't have any place to put this stuff. So slowly but surely get it done. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time today working on these pages and tearing these books apart, and which actually gives me more pages to back things with, which is what I was trying to use up. But you know, these are prettier, so I'll just add them to the stash. Stash gets bigger instead of smaller. Anyway, so I'm just going to finish this up. So, oh, and one thing before I let you go, I decided that this spine here probably needs a little help. So I had some washi tape that's not real sticky. Well, it is kind of sticky. I'm just afraid it won't be enough. So I'm just going to put it here to reinforce the spine, and then I put in some glue stick there to kind of reinforce the glue on the washi tape. So I'll just use this, and I'm just going to wrap that around, and then this page will be done, except I could put another tab on it. So stash busting times 3. Actually 4 if you count the washi tape I'm using, because it's some that's not my favorite, and it's almost like tape. It's got a whole different feel to it. It's almost like plasticky stuff. And that one's not one to stick, but we'll see what it does after it dries. But okay, real quick, let's put some more fabric on there and make a tab, and then I'll be finished with this one. And I'll let you go. And now, if you watched my video, and please comment and say hi. Let me know you watched it. I really appreciate you guys. People that followed me before that were pretty good to comment. I appreciate you guys sticking with me and coming back to visit. And hopefully you'll see me more often. But I got to remember, once again, how to upload videos, because I kind of forgot. So I got to get my computer. I haven't even had my computer on in a while. So got to get that out, get it charged up, and get going. Oops, I better wait a little bit, maybe, before I bend that. But I'll let that dry before I try bending it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this encouraged you to go grab some of your stash and get busy on it and make it something that you can use in your journals. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.